Hi there, this is John Fairhurst with a brief synopsis of David Brin's Uplift Universe. The Uplift Universe is the background in a series of books by David, beginning in the early 80s onwards. In this series, humanity is the Johnny-come-lately member of the galactic community, and unlike the rest of the sapients in the galaxy, humanity does not have a patron race. These patrons have overseen the development of their client species from animals to high-level sapiency, and in return for this great service, they get to impose a period of subserviency on those clients, who in their turn may have started another level of patron-client relations. These races took the humans' claims that they had done the whole evolving from an ape to sapiency all by themselves as a load of old hooey, but by and large they don't hold humanity's ignorance of their patrons against humanity itself, but against those long-lost patrons themselves. For isn't it the duty of a patron race to nurture their clients and not abandon them partway through the uplift process? Many of the most senior patron races see it as their duty to take on humanity as a client species, improving them to the particular patron's ideal of perfection. As a particular patron's status is enhanced by the number of client races they have, their efforts to persuade humanity to become a client species may, just may, have ulterior motives. Unfortunately, no matter whether humanity evolved by itself or as an abandoned species, they have already started the process of uplift on both chimpanzees and dolphins. And these two client species give them a degree of status and quite a bit of envy, though humanity is extremely poor on a galactic scale. Thanks to this system of patronage, galactic civilization is many millions of years old, depending on how you define a year, regardless of how you define a year, and has accrued all sorts of inventions and scientific advances, and this information has been stored in a transgalactic organisation by the name of the Library Institute, which allows any race that can come up with a fee to access any technology they want from its vast archives. You want FTL travel? All you need to work out is how much risk you want to take with that travel, and you can have something as weird as an improbability drive or as relatively straightforward as hyperdrive. This ability to just look up any information you want has become a stifling factor in undertaking scientific and cultural advancement. If it ain't in the library, then it ain't possible. Terra does its best not to take library technology on what is essentially blind faith, but FTL drives are one of the few technologies where it has no choice but to invest in library designs. As well as the Library Institute, the most important institute, and probably even more important, is the Migration and Uplift Institute, which controls the areas of the galaxy that can be used for colonization and uplift, and which areas are to be left fallow to allow new species to develop to a point where they can be successfully uplifted. It's also supposed to act as a guarantor of the various client species against outrageous changes and conditions being imposed on them by their patron races. Like all the various institutes, the Library and Migration Institutes are supposed to be independent of any particular patron-client issues and are any bigotry between species. Though emotions and bigotry can get in the way of individual members of the institute, and if you go against the tenets of the Migration Institute, you can find your race either wiped out or reduced to client status again. The institute is also responsible for ensuring that a race clears up after itself properly once their lease on a world comes to an end. Thanks to these institutes, galactic civilization is generally somewhat conservative, and most patrons insist that their clients are properly subservient. After all, they had to be subservient to their own patrons when they'd been clients themselves. Upstart humanity, on the other hand, treats its clients with an unusual degree of respect and freedom, allowing them to contradict their human patrons with relative immunity, which is not always appreciated by other galactic races, even those few races that are friendly towards Terrans. You will find a list of the books in this series in the description below, and I'll add links to the actual reviews once I've got them up on YouTube. Thank you for listening to this. Goodbye for now.